Franklin Roosevelt, who inspired us to reject fear. I revere this office, but I love my country more. It's been the honor of my life to serve as your president. But in the defense of democracy, which is at stake, I think is more important than any title. I draw strength and I find joy in working for the American people. But this sacred task of perfecting our union is not about me. It's about you, your families, your futures. It's about we, the people. We can never forget that. And I never have. I've made it clear that I believe America is at an inflection point. One of those rare moments in history when the decisions we make now will determine our fate of our nation and the world for decades to come. America's going to have to choose between moving forward or backward, between hope and hate, between unity and division. We have to decide, do we still believe in honesty, decency, respect, freedom, justice, and democracy? In this moment, we can see those we disagree with not as enemies, but as fellow Americans. Can we do that? Does character in public life still matter? I believe I know the answer to these questions because I know you, the American people. And I know this, we are a great nation because we are good people. When you elected me to this office, I promised to always level with you, to tell you the truth. And the truth, the sacred cause of this country is larger than any one of us. And those of us who cherish that cause, cherish it so much, a cause of American democracy itself, must unite to protect it. You know, in recent weeks, it's become clear to me that I need to unite my party in this critical endeavor. I believe my record as president, my leadership in the world, my vision for America's future, all merited a second term. But nothing can come in the way of saving our democracy. That includes personal ambition. So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation. That's the best way to unite our nation. You know, there is a time and a place for long years of experience in public life. There's also a time and a place for new voices, fresh voices, yes, younger voices. And that time and place is now. Over the next 6 months, I'll be focused on doing my job as president. That means I'll continue to lower costs for hardworking families, grow our economy. I'll keep defending our personal freedoms and our civil rights, from the right to vote to the right to choose. I'll keep calling out hate and extremism. Make it clear there is no place in America for political violence or any violence ever, period. I'm going to keep speaking out to protect our kids from gun violence, our planet from climate crisis that is the existential threat. And I will keep fighting for my cancer moonshot so we can end cancer as we know it, because we can do it. I'm going to call for Supreme Court reform because this is critical to our democracy, Supreme Court reform. You know, I will keep working to ensure America remains strong, secure, and the leader of the free world. I'm the first president in this century to report to the American people that the United States is not at war anywhere in the world. We'll keep rallying a coalition of proud nations to stop Putin from taking over Ukraine and doing more damage. We'll keep NATO stronger, and I'll make it more powerful and more united than any time in all of our history. I'll keep doing the same for our allies in the Pacific. You know, when I came to office, the conventional wisdom was that China would inevitably surpass the United States. That's not the case anymore. And I'm going to keep working to end the war in Gaza, bring home all the hostages, and bring peace and security to the Middle East and end this war. We're also working around the clock to bring home Americans being unjustly detained all around the world. You know, we've come so far since my inauguration. On that day, I told you, as I stood in that winter, we stood in a winter of peril and a winter of possibilities. Peril and possibilities. We were in the grip of the worst pandemic in the century, the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression, the worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War. We came together as Americans. We got through it. We emerged stronger, more prosperous, and more secure. Today, we have the strongest economy in the world, creating nearly 16 million new jobs, a record. Wages are up. Inflation continues to come down. The racial wealth gap is the lowest it's been in 20 years. We're literally rebuilding our entire nation, urban, suburban, rural, and tribal communities. Manufacturing has come back to America. We're leading the world again in chips and science and innovation. We finally beat Big Pharma after all these years to lower the cost of prescription drugs for seniors. And I'm going to keep fighting to make sure we lower the cost for everyone, not just seniors. More people have health care today in America than ever before. And I signed one of the most significant laws helping millions of veterans and their families who were exposed to toxic materials. You know, most significant climate law ever in the history of the world. The first major gun safety law in 30 years. Today, the violent crime rate is at a 50-year low. We're also securing our border. Border crossings are lower today than when the previous administration left office. I've kept my commitment to appoint the first Black woman to the Supreme Court of the United States of America. I also kept my commitment to have an administration that looks like America and be a president for all Americans. That's what I've done. I ran for president 4 years ago because I believed and still do that the soul of America was at stake. The very nature of who we are was at stake. And that's still the case. America's an idea. An idea stronger than any army, bigger than any ocean, more powerful than any dictator or tyrant. It's the most powerful idea in the history of the world. That idea is that we hold these truths to be self-evident. We're all created equal, endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights: life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. We've never fully lived up to it, to this sacred idea, but we've never walked away from it either. And I do not believe the American people will walk away from it now. In just a few months, the American people will choose the course of America's future. I made my choice. I've made my views known. I'd like to thank our great Vice President, Kamala Harris. She's experienced, she's tough, she's capable. She's been an incredible partner to me and a leader for our country. Now the choice is up to you, the American people. When you make that choice, remember the words of Benjamin Franklin hanging on my wall here in the Oval Office, alongside the busts of Dr. King and Rosa Parks and Cesar Chavez. When Ben Franklin was asked, as he emerged from the convention going on, whether the founders have given America a monarchy or republic, Franklin's response was, a republic, if you can keep it. A republic, if you can keep it. Whether we keep our republic is now in your hands. My fellow Americans, it's been the privilege of my life to serve this nation for over 50 years. Nowhere else on earth could a kid with a stutter, from modest beginnings in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and Claymont, Delaware, one day sit behind the resolute desk in the Oval Office as President of the United States. But here I am. That's what's so special about America. We're a nation of promise and possibilities, of dreamers and doers, of ordinary Americans doing extraordinary things. I've given my heart and my soul to our nation, like so many others. I've been blessed a million times in return with the love and support of the American people. I hope you have some idea how grateful I am to all of you. The great thing about America is here Kings and dictators do not rule. The people do. History is in your hands. The power is in your hands. The idea of America lies in your hands. You just have to keep faith, keep the faith. And remember who we are. We're the United States of America. And there's simply nothing beyond our capacity when we do it together. So let's act together. Preserve our democracy. God bless you all. May God protect our troops. Thank you.
Second number 2, tanda Korea, tanda America, Sinzinki, Genyo Manzolia, Sunshe number 3, Sunshe, Kama Choksum Tamchitusma Nanson, and Nalosan Shi, number 2 ki, America ki, VOA, Pugete Zenki, Annie Tedon ki Lirimlia to Senshibari, Wonder Cheshilia, Sinzinki community, Gurings, Nagayobina, Annie Tanda Lero. Payment is in Latus page and Nintus Dolin Shuagi, Cheshi Chebi, in a Sinzinki community, top de Wichita, any Tuni damage to Sma, Nanson, Chazangedi, Yingdoing and Nandoing Kashish, Tochko, you teach ma, what you should be in that. Sinzin, Joe Biden, Tarin, Chigi, Takune, Pavla, any that Magwashu, Resuya, Dan, Maguchum, Inza. Ani gomba dos shibri chana kurangi drink sunshe nanglo liya gomba shugayagi ani yingdun zo di kari hinsena ani gegeb ki manzo tang rawa chikdi sungyub chaya liya nega shita chade cha ani di mito shomba zo liya genti tang ani gengu chaya chadu kurang dos ma chidi chishu shubi ani Amerika siyagi samlo kurang gegeb di shitagi ani lab chambuchi dan ke chambuchi yimba di khane chagi yorsna ani mimman di ke chambu yimba dan ani mangzo di ke chambu yimba chazan di thone mimman liya wanja yoris America di kunangi tanda di gi kalop nang lo liya karisuna sena ani Benjamin Franklin ki tenga sungbegi takanje community khadi ne kurangi kujab liya Ligunan Shayus and Dina Karisuyersna and Benjamin Franklin ki tat tenga zetim dan the Tajana Kudu dela, Paran Kundi Kari Shuyersna, America Gagab tea and Gaviring Luswa in Be, Tajanambe, Yamana Jidin Gagab Soelia, Tajanambe, Taju Karina Yorsna, Kede Dawijab to Yovina, Chidin Gagab Soelia, those Damga Chavins, that did Dawijab to you made the catch and breeze. Kurang Lundin Dinas, and it's in Kunangi. Carisonsina was a tribute in Lia, Takandar Manzota and the Ketchum Shuch Sibi, any American monkey, and David Dawkashek to you now Lola, Takjo Ketchum Cheguyori, and Maongin Dulamti, Karichagi Medi, American Mimang Tajitan, which go recent as well, negative soon as soon, and Kurangi Galoti to Binilia, Pejin Goshikavina, decided to Binil Tambina, Chicken Lolia, Carisombristana. Any Kurangi that Leyun Dawatuk, how do it in Lola, any Tandapado, Mimaki, the Dunso Chebek, Negatigelia, Shugabins, and Mombaline, Tanda Taran Shugagins, Gagab Nalolia, Kurangi, Tandapado, Chalena with Nalola, Penapezan Squamason, Tanda Great Depression, Penjog in Yamgushuk, Chamber Chembeg, Jegi, any Kurangi, Tanda Leyunti. Umazu Konla, Benjok Nedan Koshuk, DJ, Benjok Nedan Koshu Shadi, and Benjok Gagab Benjoti, Lasso Tup Jenny, Taja Zumbling Nalia, Benjok Nedan Pege Yashudong Gagabus, Lasso Chen Yus and Digicanason, America Gagabki, Nalolia, Penachidi, Nedion Church Tambina, Gangi Chumbuji to Julia, Lady Pena Civil Wars and Tangan to Zune. Lady or Rachel and T. Jasuya, Dan Telia, Shuni Companions, and so on so. Kuranki, Pena Tandat Tower Tugi to India, Penjola Sule, Dentalia, Shukungi, 아니 멘다당 디게 딱 멘다도 배주당 전에 간다 디톤이 아니 딱 간다 팀게 단인데기 강의 티기 유튜브에서 가야 탑시 슈기 캔서기 단다 테네 디게리아 멘주 투비하게 탑시 슈기 체투 팀가 쳔볼이야 다 데즈 팀변 거샤단 데즈 텔리아 지기 렉처 카르탄고도 유저 카르탄고도 디게 디치긴스 다 친데기 톤 차샤비는 단다 봐도 치 계급 점링 계급 다 지금 로툼바 디게 냠도 티체네 아니 톱 첨부 수요 데저 무티니 슈경기 아니 페나 장 애틀랜틱 마그네틱 네트워크 디양 슈첨부 수요 슈첨부 슈처 단계 인스 딱한다 슈 체슈지 네버 파도 슈경기 인스나소 가자 나로리아 단다 목주디 참조 영화리아도 스마 슈경기 아니 점링 나로리아 지금 아메리카의 미세 치계급 나로리아다도 정강 수대버서좀 더담발리업디게 참마 마도 루리투비알리아 베준슈 인신 도스나송 딱한다 프랑기 또도 가면도지리아 카리소나스나 아니 다 계급기 아메리카 시두 지게 계급으로 된데 캠마리 미지원진 제하게 된데 캠마리 메말 요리 타마 메마기 만조 성격 제거해야 내가 전부 차버리 아니 메마기 계급 디게 가져 거와티기 유메 메마 잘 요리 차장도 디 간다다 메마기 타주 야고식 레사마기 이지 유신도 소나소 차장 신진기 갈로기 인도인디 네 걸간점치마 ngoje shutu yebegi rabashugu ani sengenamse gyundu ta nganje ari lungting kangi lezen lia tushina ba tuchesun shugin la an mixe ki ngaje traje tolya ta nizu mangu ko yore nizu yongzo ngaje lungting da tizu tolya gyangse shutu yo marte traje tol ngaje nizu di bebe lulu chida ani pena chizo talam tolya kazu nizu tyamba ka sebuchin ma gyangse shuya ki bezun shugu yore penche chabina 다른 군중기 단다 샤비기 내다 데서 시라게 야르친 요바탄 데서 세다 주만탈량 아주도 스마 제조처럼 단 데서 톤마 지다쇼야기 또 스가절이야 고급 중요하리 제당 줄 리림 톨이야 무튜니 토나나로나 아니 듀는 되네 땅 아주 카셰지기 아니 게지시알 소바드 또 지기어때 갸블 때네 찰레난게 마부여리 디나니 다 균도네 단다 벤세션 단다 차제기 최동도 태동도 동 투야 직 조직 ngazu gyablia shuchen chule ta tindel chale na thinke tuden sirin la chagi yu chazange tuden sirla le tuche shugu ani tanda ta tuzug sinzing gi kaloti tundun chi na tab de wuchi na yidu ani tanda ngazu chade pema de jala dos pe chen del ya cho ma son de ti khon ya chadi chazang shuchen dos yu ani sengenam samal ya tuche shugu yin